Hello everyone, and welcome back to Yoshi's Woolly World on the Nintendo Wii U. I am one Welsh sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be returning into World 5 in order to continue onwards with the rest of the game. What can I say? Now, to be perfectly honest, it's been a long while since I've actually recorded footage for this, so my details and whatnot and particular parts of the level may be a little fuzzy, so I'm kind of remembering this as I go in with the commentary on this one, just due to the fact that I need to, I just need to get this playthrough out, you know. Normally I do a lot more preparation work, but this LP's been going on for over a year now. I need to get this done. I need to get to other things. I need to get to my supersonic madness, if you will. But anyway, I digress. Moving on, this is the obligatory ice world of the game. And one thing I do kind of love about this ice world is it's not so much an ice zone as it is a snow zone. You want to know why? Well, the main difference is, in a lot of games, there's usually a couple of tropes which basically involve, like, ice levels being really slippery, or... well, actually, no, they're always slippery, hence the term ice levels. Well, a lot of the stages in this point in the game are snow levels, which means you don't usually have to worry too much about slippery physics. You don't have to worry about your control being too, I'm trying to think of the word, too not good, you know, because a lot of developers tend to like to make these, snow-based, ice-based levels really difficult. They tend to mess with your traction, which, I don't usually mind too much in games, but I usually hate it in these sort of platform games because the lack of traction does change up the gameplay too much, and it's an absolute nightmare to get used to newfound controls, I've noticed. I'm generally not bad when it comes to snow levels, because again, they're slightly different from ice levels in the fact that you can actually control yourself, but that's beside the point. Anyway, if you can't tell already, the major gimmick with this one is we need to deal with snowballs. You push a snowball, it grows bigger, and basically when the snowball grows big enough, you will be able to utilize it in order to crush enemies and break through ice blocks. We also need to make use of these new fireball mooks, which I think this is the first time we've seen them during the course of the game. I could be wrong about that, but basically you eat them and you're able to spit out fire, kind of like in New Super Mario Bros. DS, if anyone's played that game, because there's a power in that game where you can pick up this sort of super flower if you're playing as Yoshi, and he breathes fire. It's only used like once or twice in Super Mario Bros. DS, but you know, Super Mario 64 DS, not Brothers, derp. But we are also introduced to fire watermelons as well. They act a lot like watermelons. They give you fire ammo to utilize in order to melt ice blocks. And what you want to do is you need to manipulate the ice blocks in a certain way so you can collect all of the objects that are either hidden inside or are blocked off by the ice pathways. What can I say? And huzzah! It's time for another bike sequence. You know, one thing I want to bring up is these transformation sequences, considering how much I've seen them advertised when the game is just before the game is getting released. I'm shocked you don't see them as often in the game as you'd expect, because you don't see them as much as you'd think you would, because it's only every now and then, maybe like every couple of levels, you get a sequence where it's just like, oh, suddenly you're a car, suddenly you're a bike, suddenly you're Super Yoshi, you know. I would like to see these utilized a little bit more during the course of the game, but whatever, I can deal with what I am given, I suppose. Of course, this one does give you very limited time, so if you mess up, good luck. That's the best thing I can say about that matter. And around this point in the game, you will probably see yourself dying quite a bit more often if you're collecting stuff. Now, of course, as I stated way back earlier on, the challenge of this game isn't in the actual gameplay, because the core platforming is... let's be honest, the core platforming is easy peasy lemon squeezy. There is no way you should, well, no real reason you should fail the core platforming. And if you do, maybe you're just not used to this type of game, whatever, I can't judge you. But the main thing you're going to have trouble with is just collecting all these things. Collecting all of the collectibles. Try and say that 10 times fast. Actually, I'm going to try that. Collecting all the collectibles, Okay, I'm not trying that then, fine. Basically, collecting all the collectibles in these later levels gets a little bit harder, and the challenge starts to really come into play, you know? It's still manageable enough, though. This is not a hard game in the slightest. Like, you may die a couple of times, like, failing a stupid jump or just learning where all the items are located, because some of these can be pretty cryptic to figure out. But, apart from that, you know, it should be a very smooth drive. What can I say? You should be really chilled out. By the way, when you get up to this point, start running as fast as you physically can, because there is a giant snowball chasing you. And you do want to go at a certain speed in order to collect that happy flower that is encased, well, not so much encased in the ice, it's just if you try and go around the bottom way, you will not be able to reach it. So just go as fast as you can, take a page out of Sonic's book, use the Sonic amiibo if necessary to change Yoshi's skin to Sonic's, and yeah. Of course, I said that as a joke. If you use the amiibos on Yoshi to change his skin, it doesn't actually give him extra features. Like, if you choose to play as Link Yoshi, for example, you don't get a sword to slice people with. As awesome and adorable as that would be, like, I can imagine that, like a Link Yoshi running around with a little woolen sword, just booping people in the head. I want this to be a thing. Nintendo, why didn't you make this a thing? I'm disappointed. But I digress. Moving onwards. No, actually, I'm really surprised Nintendo didn't take advantage of that, because that would be a neat initiative to try and get people to buy the amiibos even more so, other than just alternate skins. I mean, I like the alternate skins as they are, you know, because you know, I don't really go into the whole amiibo craze. I don't buy the amiibos or anything like that, because I just... No games have had extra features that really interested me enough to grab the amiibos, you know? So, I never really bought into the whole amiibo craze, which I know I'm probably gonna regret when games start incorporating my words are my tongue's failing me. Blah, blah, blah. I know I'm gonna probably regret when games start incorporating amiibos probably, but hey, what can I say? It just never caught on to me. It's just a bunch of figurines. It's the big reason why I don't play Skylanders and whatnot all that much, or Disney Infinity. It's a lot of money to play a game. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna play something like an MMO, RPG or something that will last. But anyway, I digress. Moving onwards, we now have access to the ice watermelon thingy, which basically works the exact opposite of the fire one. It freezes bad guys, and when bad guys are frozen, you can utilize them as projectiles in order to send them into other objects or other enemies in the area. And we're actually going to have to make use of this a couple of times in order to gain access to a lot of happy flowers and what have you that are located in this level. Of course, this level by itself is a pretty simple one anyway, but this is one of those stages that does actually have ice physics in effect for the most part, so you may want to be careful about that. Like, I'm really fortunate in, even though I've been going on about ice physics rant earlier on, the ice physics in this game don't affect you too much, which I am thankful for. Like, it's no... I'm trying to think of a really... It's no Crash Bandicoot, it's no Spyro the Dragon. Actually, the ice physics in Spyro the Dragon are damn near obnoxious, so... You know, it's not like that. You know, it's still perfectly controllable, you just have a little bit more slip to your movement, if you will. But anyway, we do need to also make use of these Cheep Cheeps, that's the one, that's the name of the fish, that are in the sea, because they will start spitting at you, which is extremely rude, but fortunately their rude act will give us progression. So they're going to start spitting, and you can ride the spit to go to get to the other side, if you will. Yay, Mer Yoshi! I think this might be the first time we're seeing this, I'm not actually sure. I can't actually remember if we've seen Mer Yoshi before. Well, in case we haven't, basically Mer Yoshi moves with the analog stick, up, down, left, right, and then you press the B button to spin. And that's all she wrote, really. It's actually quite an easy thing to use. It actually reminds me a lot of Echo the Dolphin on the Mega Drive, if anyone's played that. Although, better than Echo the Dolphin, because I really don't like that game. Like, Echo the Dolphin is one of those Mega Drive games where I like the intro sequence and nothing else. Because I love riding around as a dolphin swimming about, but I don't like the level design or the core game itself because it terrifies me. Echo the Dolphin is not a game I'm planning on covering on my channel. It might be a Sega classic to some, but to me it's one of Sega's weakest. I can't do it. I can't handle that game. But, oh god, almost ran out of time. Oh my Jesus. What would have happened if I'd run out of time? Honestly, I don't know what happens if you run out of time. I just assume it kicks you out of the area and you have to redo it or something like that. And it wouldn't really matter anyway, because I'll just redo it anyway. You know, I'll edit it to make sure I did good, so... Ah, the benefits of editing and post-commentary. Don't you just love it? Although you do need to make use of these Shy Guys, like you saw that me kick that Shy Guy to the left a minute ago, to get hold of a lot of Happy Flowers and whatnot. So just pay a lot of attention to that, be very careful. And when you buy here, this is a very tricksy Happy Flower to get, because you need to wait specifically on that platform for a Shy Guy, not Shy Guy, Cheep Cheep. I keep calling them Shy Guys. Wait for a Cheep Cheep to pop out in order to use his spit to get up to the secret area. Actually, it took me ages to find that. I remember spending a good 50 minutes trying to find that secret area because I just didn't realize. Look up, stupid! Which, is depressing, you know? It's really depressing. But I digress. That is all of the Happy Flowers in this stage. Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's basically just a straight route to the exit now. And of course, you saw earlier on as well with the giant blog type enemies, you can freeze them using your freeze powers once we get this wool. There we go. Actually, I'm missing one piece of wool. Where is that? I can't remember. I'm going to pick it up because this is recorded already, but it can't be too far away. But anyway, we're going to see a blog enemy come up any second now. There he is. You can freeze him and ground pound him as well using the ice power, and I think this is the only way to kill him. Otherwise, you can basically stun him with your wall, and that's it. So, be sure you're carrying ice with you just to be able to get around him so you can get this cloud, which opens up a doorway. Okay, now I remember, this doorway leads to the wall. Ah, science! It's actually really easy. You just need to wait for this guy by here to freeze you, and then Bob's your uncle. That's actually quite a clever little gimmick, because a lot of people will think, we can't get hit by the guy, how can I get down there? So I think that's a really clever way of doing that puzzle, but there we go. That is this stage over and done with. And that is part 17 over and done with as well, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you all for watching, hope you all enjoyed, don't be sheepish people. And when we return next time, we'll be continuing onwards with the rest of World 5 of Yoshi's Woolly World. And you will not believe how close we are getting to the end, because we are so close now to the end of the game. But I mean, there's more than 4 parts left. There's quite a few parts left, but in terms of progression, we are almost at the pinnacle of the game. You know, we're getting there. We're getting there. The final world is just around the corner. You can taste it. You can taste it like the sweet sea salt ice cream on Kingdom Hearts. I've always wanted to taste sea salt ice cream because it sounds awful. It sounds disgusting, but considering all the characters in Kingdom Hearts seem to love it, you know, it makes me want to try it. But I digress. Anyway, with that is this part. So thank you all for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Bye!